Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Yakshi Malhotra, the founder of the Knit Academy. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. If you are new here, you are in for an absolute treat with the archive of demos I've got for you. So I've got over 200 tutorials, yes, that's right, 200 tutorials up on my website called the Knit Academy if you are looking to learn the more technical aspects of knitwear. So we add demos every single month on there to help you out with learning more about knit, and the information I've got up there is not available anywhere. So we've got pattern cutting, we've got technical packs, we've got linking, we've got a whole archive of swatches to help you get started on your journey. So we've got a lot of beginners guides as well. So make sure that you go check it out. And finally, make sure you subscribe to this channel and show your support. Other than that, enjoy knitting. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week's technique is a slight variation to what we did previously, which I think was about last week. It's working with that wrapped eyelet technique, but introducing colours into the mix to achieve a slightly different outcome. Now, this is only my first try with this variation, but I do know that you will be able to go a lot farther than I have with this combination. So we have used 3 yarns. One is a cotton tape, one is a soft cotton, and one is a stretch viscose. So stretch viscose is the one that actually shrinks when you press it. It's a great alternative to elastic yarn, which personally I think is quite temperamental when knitting with. So I think this is quite a good substitute if you are wanting that sort of slightly finer effect on your knit without actually having to invest in a fine gauge machine. So I've used 2 ends of that yarn, 1 end of the other 2. Now, I would also say that you can actually do slight variations to this as well, which I've mentioned through the demo, and also add more colours. So this looks quite stripy, but you can actually add another colour and you can actually alternate between the groups. So you can use 2 colours for a certain part and then 2 colours for the next part of the knit, and that will give you a slightly different effect. But again, the changes that you do make will all give you a slightly different outcome, and it's just about developing it further and further and further until you're actually happy with the result. So I really hope you enjoy this technique. If you've got any recommendations, do drop them in the comments below. But other than that, happy knitting. So we've started off by casting on a few needles and knitting a few rows. Now I have already done a little bit on my machine, but we've just got to follow the instructions from here on. So once you've casted on and knitted a few rows, with the help of a single prong transfer tool, we are going to start doing some transfer work. Now, the transfer work that we're working with, or the layout we're working with, is a 2x2. Okay, so I am going to leave the first 2, 4, 6 needles as they are and start on the 7th and 8th. So 2, 4, 6. So I'm going to transfer the 7th stitch over to the left adjacent needle and then the 8th stitch over to the right. Okay, and push the empty 2 needles all the way to the back into non-working position. So just go ahead and do this layout all the way across your selection. Now make sure that all of your empty needles are pushed all the way to the back of the bed. I can actually transfer the 3rd and the 4th as well because I've got 2 needles on the edge of on both sides. Okay, so I have started off using the 4-ply soft cotton. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Now the order that we're working with for the yarns is the green, the blue tape, and the nude stretch viscose. Okay, so we start off with the green. So my tension is on 6. I'm going to knit 1 and 2 rows, and now I'm going to swap over to the tape yarn, which is also on tension 6. Now with the single prong transfer tool, we're going to go ahead and lift the floats. Okay, so it's going to be the green one that we lift, and you can see there's 2 floats here. So I'm going to go ahead and lift the bottom one, which is the first one, lift that and place it on the first needle of the set right next to it. You can go to the left or the right, whichever one, but we're going to be working in opposites, okay? So now we've lifted it up and placed it on the right hand side. And what I'm going to do now is knit 2 rows in the tape and do the same thing. So go back down to the first float, and then this time we will place it on the left, okay? So you can do now, so it's the opposite, but if you do it in the same direction, it might alter the pattern. So I would just encourage you to test it out and see what it does, but we are working in this manner. Okay, so once you've done this, go ahead and push one of the empty needles forward. So I'm picking the second one, or the one on the right hand side, okay? So just push it back into working position, and now we are going to swap our yarn to 2 ends of the stretch viscose. I have linked the yarns in the description, so you can go ahead and check it out to look at the weights. Okay, so knit 1 row, push all of your needles into working position, and knit 2. And now what we do is we repeat it, but this time round, the transfer work that we do is on the set of the next 2 needles. Okay, so for me, it will be the 5th to the left and the 6th to the right. So the hole or the eyelet will fall in another section of our knit. Now again, one of the changes that you can make is work with the same set of needle transfer instead of changing it, okay? It will give you a slightly different outcome. Now we go back to our green. We knit 2 rows and we swap over to the tape. We do the lifting, so this time it's on the right hand side because the previous one was on the left. Now we knit 1 and 2, lift and place. So you're lifting the first or the bottom float and placing it on the needle on the left hand side. And now we push forward one of the empty needles. At this point you can pick the other one as well. It doesn't have to be the same one that you push every time. And change over to the stretch viscose, knit 1 row and push all of your needles into working and knit another. So you can see the beautiful stripy pattern starting to form. Now, like I've mentioned, this is only a slight variation to the technique that we've previously done. I think it was last week. So you can go ahead and actually watch that demo as well and then make changes in the same manner to that demo. We've used 3 colours. You can stick with 2 colours. You can also use different yarns. Try using elastic so it kind of shrinks it in. It might give you a slightly different effect. Try a different needle layout. We've worked with 2 and 2. You can maybe try 3 and 3 or 1 and 1. Just play around a little bit and changes affect the outcome you get. If you're looking for more inspiration, more knit ideas, do go ahead and check out all the other demos I've got on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you next week. Bye.